We could
And
be
that's not.
talking for 2 hours and
It is not. All right, now we're ready.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Hey, horror fans! Once again, it is me, the Horror Miser Money G, welcoming you to another Horror Hangout live stream. And of course, we have our leader, the one and only Sean Patrick Urshan from the Horror Corner. And of course, we have our lovely minus Christian Jen from Jen's Reviews from the Grave. And not only do we have one, we have two guests. First of all, Morbid Hearts Design. She is here with us in the live stream. And of course, another lovely Jennifer Tochi is with us. Finally got you on the stream, Jenny.
been a long time, huh?
Been a long time coming.
I could say something, but I'll restrain myself.
Okay.
If you guys don't know, about Jen, have we told you?
I have a reputation.
Yeah, we always have to tell Jen to behave.
Noted. Jen must behave.
And Gens think alike, so be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And we don't mean like, oh, behave.
Yeah,
And Marty and Christian aren't here tonight, so you guys are in a lot of trouble.
yeah. So on this live stream, we're going to be talking about animated horror. All the animated horror TV shows or movies that we've probably seen throughout the years. We're going to start with one of our guests, Morbid Hearts Designs. What is one of your favorite animated horror films or TV shows that you want to talk about?
Paranorman is the best. It's claymation, so stop motion, which is always an amazing art form. But there's something about this story where it's a little kid's story, but it's also super dark that I love. There's an innocence about it, but it gets warped, and that was my childhood brain. So I wish that came out when I was a kid, but I get to enjoy it as an adult, so I'm okay with it.
Very cool.
Yeah, because I never actually saw Paranormal, so I can't really talk about it. But what was so good about that particular animated film?
I just loved the characters and the different character development that goes through it. Like, there's this little kid who's like afraid of everything. And by the end of it, he's not afraid because he's had to confront so many different things. He sees ghosts, and there's zombies that take over the town, and his sister's terrible to him, and then they become friends by the end. So it's like every character, even the minor ones, had a really interesting story arc. And then the history of the town and the community, like there was so much backstory. It felt cohesive, especially for a cartoon. I feel like sometimes the stories aren't very in-depth, especially when you're talking cartoons. They're traditionally targeted towards children. Thankfully, that's a shift in our culture, and we're getting more adult-themed cartoons these days, which makes me excited for where horror could go with it. But who knows?
Yeah, because I thought Paranormal was mainly towards kids, sort of like what's that? Was it Monster House? I think it was another animated film that was sort of toward kids. That's why I guess is the reason why I didn't watch it, because it was more. I thought it was more kid friendly than anything. Yeah, Monster House. Yeah, I thought it was kid friendly than anything else.
Paranorman might be more like a preteen age, not like Disney targets young kids. I would put it more targeting maybe 11, 12, around that age. Is that still considered preteen? I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Jen can probably answer that question. Do you think this is more what you let your younger son watch a movie like Paranormal?
Yeah, he's seen it and he really enjoyed it. Now, Jake is my son, so he has a little bit stronger constitution than maybe some other kids his age. But he enjoyed it, and Christian actually is a big fan of that one. I wish he was here tonight because I think he would strongly agree with you. He really loves that film as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever see Paranormal, Jennifer?
Yes, I have. I'm a real big fan of claymation. Ever since Clash of the Titans. So I love that.
Yeah, I can never
Great
get
movie.
enough of Clash of the Titans.
Yeah.
Titans. You know, anytime when I get a chance, and it's so, not to get off topic, but it's so different when you actually see Clash of the Titans. That first one starring Harry Hamilton, as opposed to the remake that stars Sam Worthington and the different vast, and it's still like I still can't get over the original. The original will always be my favorite when it comes to movies such as that, because you can't get enough of the great Ray Harryhausen.
No.
I love that stuff. I'll take that over CGI like any day.
Yeah, iconic. And the skeletons, I mean, you could say that there is some horror elements into it. That claymation with the skeleton scene, I mean,
Yeah.
it's burned into everybody's brain.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, what is one of your favorite animated horror films that you've seen?
Well, it's kind of a silly, like goofy kind of comedy, but I love Hotel Transylvania.
I forgot that one existed.
It's got all my favorite it's got all the old school Universal monsters. You got Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman. It's just fun. It's goofy, and I like the voice work and great animation. It's colorful. Yeah, I guess when it comes to the horror animated films, I like silly, goofy stuff. I don't need it to be that serious.
I get that.
Okay, so Jennifer, Tochi. I got two Jins here, so I got to make sure I specify which one. When it comes to animated films or television shows, which was one of your favorites?
Okay, embarrassed about this, but Toxic Crusaders.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that one.
You got No Zone in front of me, and I was just sold on that. And anything that's made from a trauma movie, I love.
Oh, we got a trauma fan here.
I remember one part I was watching it, and the guy's like, "Oh, you touched my tutu," because it has a little tutu thing.
Well, so you got a new subscriber there, Angela.
Thanks, Russell. I was going to say thanks in the chat, but I'll say that now.
Okay, Jen, which one is your favorite animated TV shows or horror films?
Well, actually, this isn't really my wheelhouse. So, like, for a couple of weeks, I've been preparing and kind of doing some research. And a movie that I'm a big fan of, Black Swan, and that's a real sore point for Christian. And he's like, they just fucking, if you ever watch Perfect Blue, you'll see how much they ripped off that movie. And I finally got around to watching Perfect Blue. And while I still like Black Swan, I have to agree. And of course, it hits a lot of themes that I'm really interested in, particularly mental illness. And you can definitely see, if you've seen Perfect Blue, it really does rob a lot of elements from Black Swan. And the animation is gorgeous, and I just fucking love this movie. Christian has been after me forever to watch it, and I finally did, and I was blown away by it. It's one that if you've like me and have been, you haven't seen it yet, I would strongly recommend it. It's an amazing film.
I just wrote it down.
Is that the pop star one?
Perfect Blue.
Yes,
Where
yes,
she's-
she's
okay.
she's a pop star and then she wants to be an actress, and a rape scene. It's a very brutal film. It's definitely not for kids, but it tackles a lot of themes, and it shows the strength of animation, that it's not always for kids. It can be great for kids, but it can handle brutality just as well, if not better in some aspects, than regular horror.
Wow, heavy stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
I agree with Jen.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Got some nice people in the chat here. Strange Monkey is here.
Hi, Strange Monkey.
What's up, man?
Everyone's favorite Ben Grimm is here.
What's up, Ben?
And an old favorite of ours, Jason, is in our chat. What's up, Jason? Jason, I got to reach out to you. I got a special thing I want to talk to you about, you and Joe about. So I'm gonna reach out to you guys. There's something I want to do with you guys, but I'll talk about that later on. But yeah, definitely let me reach out to me, okay? Got to talk about them there. I got a nice project to do with those two guys. For me, and I've seen a lot of animated horror films in my time, but I think one of the favorite ones I had was Heavy Metal. Both Heavy Metal and Heavy Metal 2000. And I don't know if any of you guys remember the Heavy Metal magazine that came out during I think it was the mid 70s and the 80s. And
I used to buy it all the time.
Yeah, and then they decided to make a movie, and the first movie was very good, different animation styles, but basically all they did was just picked out all of the stories that were in the magazine. They made the animated films on it. Uh-oh. Your man's here, Jen.
Hey, darling.
Not gorgeous, Monty. Are you offended by that?
Monty's just as gorgeous as I am. Let's be honest, Marty.
Yes.
That's okay, Marty. I know what you mean.
He's not biased at all.
Yeah, I think it's actually the second film, Heavy Metal 2000. I don't know if anyone has seen that before. That was strictly just an original story that they created up. I like the story. I like the. We got a lot of people in here. Full Moon is with us here right now.
And that was just one story, right? It wasn't anthology type thing.
Yeah, because the first one was just all he did was took several of the stories that were in the magazine and animated them. I think there were like 4 stories in the original one, and the second one was just one original story, and it was about this warrior woman whose planet is destroyed, and she goes after the person that destroyed it. It was very, very good. A really great animation style, nice story. I think I forgot the guy who voiced the villain. He was good as the bad guy right there. It was a very good story. Very, of course, not meant for kids. So it's not meant for kids because it's very violent. I believe there's some nudity in the film as well. But yeah, really love that animation style when it comes to Heavy Metal.
And they used Julie Strain, right, for the main character, because they used her in all the covers of the old magazines.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So anybody else got any favorite animated TV shows that they want to talk about?
Talking about horror focused or in general?
And like in general.
Oh, the Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Like,
good choice.
That one's a great tip into horror, but not horror, in my opinion.
That's a great one. And you've got death.
Yeah.
Lots of death and lots of monsters and evil gods, and you never know what's going to happen. People transforming into things. You just never know.
Yeah, I remember
and great humor with it too, which is really great. It shows, again, if you do it right, horror and comedy are really great mixed together. It can really fail when it's done wrong, but when it's done right, like Billy and Mandy, it's a great one.
Both very dependent on comedy, which is why I think Jordan Peele's been very successful in transferring from horror or from comedy to horror's timing is got to be perfect.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot. Was that Nickelodeon that showed that show?
Cartoon
Cartoon
Network.
Network.
Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still watch it to this day. Don't judge me.
Oh no,
Oh
it's
no.
cool.
Hey, look. I still dig Peanuts.
Who doesn't?
That one's
Yeah.
classic. That one's
Yeah.
classic.
And my mom always thought I would outgrow Charlie Brown and Snoopy. I said, nope.
Never. They even had the Peanuts movie. That was good, man. I like that.
I'm waiting for them to make a horror movie about Charlie Brown.
And the kite
That'd
eating
be
tree.
cool, yeah.
Do we have the Great Pumpkin Patch?
Oh, yeah.
They could make a whole movie out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Great Pumpkin or whatever.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting cartoon. It was a Saturday morning cartoon called the Drac Pack, where they actually made the monsters good, and they had Frankie Howler and Drac Jr. and they were chasing down this Dracula was called Big D, and they were chasing down this villain every other week. I thought it was a very interesting cartoon how they did that. The Mystery Incorporated was the best Scooby series.
I like the first one, the original. Nothing like the original. Where are you?
Yep. Where are you?
It's I don't know why I could just not get into Scooby Doo. I mean, I know people love Scooby Doo, love the series. There were some funny moments in the show, but for some reason, I guess because I was not in the Hanna-Barbera at the growing up as a kid. You watch the Flintstones, you watch the Jetsons, you watch Scooby Doo, you saw Yogi Bear and Huckleberry Finn. Me, I was a Looney Tunes fan. That's when it comes to cartoons or animation. I was a Looney Tunes fan. And I guess that's the reason why I could never get into any of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons. I mean, other than the Herculoids, Johnny Quest.
I believe they did Didn't they do the Super Friends?
Yeah. Yeah, like again, I watched because it was cartoons, and yeah, Ghostbusters, yeah. Now the interesting story about Ghostbusters. Now, I don't know if both Jens. I don't know if you remember an old Saturday
Yes.
children's show. You remember
I
that
do.
one? That was done by Filmation. Now, when Columbia decided to create the movie Ghostbusters, they actually asked permission from Filmation, which owned the rights to the title Ghostbusters. Hey, look, we're making a movie. We want to call it Ghostbusters. Can we go on ahead and use the title Ghostbusters? Because they found out about the TV show. So they said, all right, go on ahead. Well, go ahead. You can use it. Little did Filmation know, and I forgot the name of the guy who owned Filmation, that they did not know how big and how much money and how much marketing Ghostbusters would become.
They probably got screwed.
Yeah.
So they automatically went ahead and created a cartoon show based upon the TV show. So that's why you saw the Ghostbusters. Everyone's tuning into the Ghostbusters and say, wait a minute, where does Monkey come from?
I know, this has nothing to do with the
Wait a minute,
Venkman and all these people.
where's Sia? It's like, where's all the Ghostbuster guys? This is not the Ghostbusters. So when Columbia decided to go on ahead and create their TV show based upon the movie, they couldn't use the Ghostbusters, hence the real Ghostbusters. Yeah, that was fun.
Not really. If you're a little kid, searching and you think, "Oh, yay, Ghostbusters! I'm gonna get to see Slimer," and then
You're like, what is this?
Yeah.
I'll sue. I was writing in a crayon to Cartoon Network.
How dare you?
How dare you? You crushed my childhood dreams. I want my Slimer, damn it.
Mom says I can't use the words coming to my mind.
Did you guys ever see I used to watch it like after Batman and stuff called Gargoyles?
Oh,
That was a good show.
Monty, I think you're muted. I think you're muted, Monty.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gargoyles. Oh man, you want to talk about an excellent show? That was Disney at its best when it came to our show. I can never get enough of Gargoyles. I'm just hoping they can actually create a live version of that one or do a remake of Gargoyles. But that was just fantastic. It was not just the animation, but the mythology that they behind Gargoyles was fantastic. You got to give the writers credit.
It was very well written. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kind of on par with the Batman, the level of writing. It's kind of very well done.
It kind of had that style too, like the animation style, like Batman.
Yeah, because I think
really
that came
did.
up before Batman the Animated Series.
That was
really?
a very different art style for animation for Disney too at the time. Because
Yeah, I know.
a lot of the TV stuff was more like the Darkwing Duck style, Goof Troop.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was
That's true.
very different than anything else they were putting out for
And
any
now
Disney networks.
That's why I was
Very
so
gothic feel.
yeah. That's why I was so amazed. Like Disney's making this. This is not their type of style.
I know it's not typical kiddie stuff.
I said, first of all, it's certainly not for kids. I mean, not they don't do anything outright horror related, but it was still very violent. The typical violence that you would see on a cartoon like that, just like any other cartoons where they have to market their toys because they know that obviously kids are going to collect the toys for the kids. But the fact that it was still such a serious mythology based show, and the story behind it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think cartoons have really changed because you bring up, was it really marketed towards kids or why was it? You look at X-Men, that was completely marketed towards kids. And I love X-Men and I loved that animated show. But watching it as an adult, I'm like, I don't know if this was appropriate for Saturday morning cartoons in all reality.
That's kind of true.
Another one that for appropriateness is Tales from the Crypt Keeper. You're kind of thinking why. Like now they took out the sex and the gore from the HBO series and they toned it down. And that's when I've done a 180 on. As a kid, I wasn't that big of a fan because I was already watching Tales from the Crypt. And I'm like, this is lame. I did a rewatch on that show and I really came to appreciate it. Now it was more the humor. And one thing I really liked about it is they do a nod from the old comic book style because one of the running jokes in the show is a crypt keeper has the vault keeper and the old witch, which was from the comics, try to come and take over his show. And I really appreciate that humor was really funny. And the colors, the colors, even though it was supposed to be kind of a dark and gloomy show, the colors were strangely vibrant. So there's a lot to appreciate about that. That's what I've done a 180 for.
This is a lot of fun.
Someone brought up Batman in chat. DC
Batman
actually has some really awesome dark horror animated stuff, like their Constantine movie.
Oh yeah,
you can't beat that movie. That one's pretty. I don't know if they could have improved it in any way.
No, they couldn't. Yeah. Constantine, City of Dark. I forgot what it's called. Yeah, the fact that they had Matt Ryan from the Constantine TV show voice him. That's also great too because I don't know if anyone ever saw the TV show Constantine. Back on NBC, Matt
City
Ryan
of Demons, I believe, is what it was called. Googling it.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was good. I know Jason was talking about Batman Gas Night by Light. That's pretty good. I mean, Gotham by Gaslight. Yeah, that was pretty good.
DC's not doing a lot of things right, but they are doing their animated stuff very well.
Yeah, they got most of the animation right, but unfortunately they can't get the movies right.
They should just stick with the animation and keep it coming.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see the speaking of the Helsing or whatever, they had a Van Helsing animated movie based on the movie Van Helsing, which was better than the actual movie.
That one was a pretty low bar, even though it had Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. I didn't know they made an animated movie about movie about the live action movie, which was it was okay. Hugh Jackman, he tried, but unfortunately it was a terrible Dracula, not one of the best performances I ever see of a Dracula, and I don't fault the actor. I think it was more of the script and the script, because the story was a bit out there. I was like, wait a minute, where's the darkness? Where's the horror? I said, just,
I know, right?
bunch of CGI crap. And I got nothing in Steven Sommer because I think he does a good job in some of his stories, but he sometimes he over reliance on CGI
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
because
I think you're right.
as much as I enjoyed the Mummy series, as much as I enjoyed Deep Rising, I he missed it with Van Helsing.
But the cartoon movies is pretty good. You should check it out.
I'll have to put that one on my list.
Is watching the scene with this. They did I didn't know they did a Pitch Black cartoon.
They did. I forgot about that one. That one was actually really
Oh
good.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did. I remember it now. Yes, I remember now. Now, yes. I don't know if Vin Diesel actually did his voice in that one because I don't remember him being in. Because I know
I don't
they
think
did.
he did.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of animation. You can get around that a little bit when you
Mhm.
don't have
Yeah,
the
yeah.
actors because you can animate it to look like the original actors.
Mhm.
That's a benefit of it as an art form.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see what happens because it's like right now in Hollywood, there's a lot of animation studios that are laying people off. So it's kind of like this exciting time where we're getting more, but it's also terrifying as somebody who loves this art form because they're just hacking jobs left and right. And there's also a lot of boycotts because they don't pay people enough.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go into that industry and I got accepted into art school to do it. But ultimately, I'm glad that didn't come to fruition with how I understand the industry now and where things are at.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. If you could actually create your own, since you're the animator here,
I'd say just more an artist right now.
more artists. Yeah. How would you design some of the creatures that you have seen in animated films? How would you design it?
Oh, that's
question.
okay. This might be a lazy answer, but actually, I love Monster High. I saw it as an adult, and I'm still obsessed with it. I actually have quite a collection. This is one of them. Most of
They're
them are
neat
in
dolls.
boxes,
They're very neat
sadly.
dolls.
But I also like fashion, so I would pretty much do Monster High if I was doing it with the cartoon.
That's a pretty good example of
Yeah,
fashion.
yeah.
Because you
And
can be
Yeah.
fashion and kill things and bathe in blood and embrace your vampireness, whatever it is. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You can slay in many ways.
There was never, growing up in the 80s, there was never like that, for goth girls. They never had a doll for goth girls and stuff. That came later. That came way after I was already had done being a child. But I always appreciated Monsters High. I didn't watch the cartoon, but I did appreciate the aesthetic of the dolls. I really did.
Oh, they relaunched it. I don't know how I feel. There's always like that you fall in love with the original one. Nickelodeon decided to claim the property. The only good thing is that means we're getting more dolls released many years later. But I actually watched a few episodes and I just don't know. They changed the characters so much. They redesigned a lot of the characters. And I'm really torn on some of their choices.
I watched a video on that and stuff, and they seem a little bit like the others seem darker. The older versions seem a little bit more dark, and I mean that in a good way, and edgier. And these seem a little more corporate. Corporate is a corporate.
Nickelodeon versus YouTube Shorts.
Yeah,
well, shorts were short cartoons, short stories. Like there's a huge difference from where it started, where it went, and now the relaunch.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Nickelodeon had a lot to say into it. But I really miss, there was definitely that more lighter tone versus they're in the dark, spooky high school that's a castle and there's ghosts everywhere and little details that just make you go, yes, this is the horror universe I want to live in.
Exactly.
I want these people to be my friends, these monsters.
I want their closets.
Be my friend. Be my friend.
Well, it's all about friendship and embracing each other's differences, and I think that's an amazing message.
Good friend from Horror Addicts, Danny Nightmare is in here.
Yes, hey
What, Danny?
Danny. Hey, Danny. I do have art at the time capsule.
Oh, how cool!
Yeah. So let's see. All right. All right. Might as well go on ahead and get this out the way. Now, of course, everyone knows. I'm pretty sure we've seen all the negativity, all the hate, and all the bashing that Velma got throughout the time that she was there. So, before we begin, Jennifer Tucci, did you actually see any of the episodes of Velma?
Yes, I did.
I see. What
I
did you?
saw the first 3.
Oh, you just saw the first 3. You didn't see the whole 10 episodes.
No, I was about ready to throw my phone out the window. I was angry during the whole thing, and I was like, oh, I was just angry.
You see, Uncle said he got sick. And I just want to say this preference. I got nothing against Mandy Kindling. I unfortunately, because I never saw The Office, I never saw her show. I don't. I'm pretty sure that she's a talented writer, and I'm pretty sure that how because I never saw the mini project. It lasted for 5 years, so it must have been good. So whatever she was doing on that particular show, did any of you ever seen any mini kindling projects or the mini kindling show or so watch The Office?
I watch The Office all
I
the
watched
time.
The Office. Yeah, all the way through.
Look at Dice.
You and me both, Dice. You and me both.
No, the secret is watch the hate watchers hate watching it, and you get it all with amazing commentary. You're entertained. You go, oh, that's food for thought. And then you don't actually watch it. It's so much better. That's the secret to life. Anything I want to see the hate watch, I don't give it my view. I give other people the view.
Yeah. And I said to myself, it was probably 2 days after after it came on, and then I saw all of the. I think it only got like 7 or 8 on Rotten Tomatoes.
That
Wow.
high, huh?
Yeah, I said,
Damn.
there is no way this show can't be that bad.
That's why
And
I decided to give it a chance.
That's why.
I was like,
That's why I
okay.
said there's no way in the world because
That almost makes you want to watch it when it gets that low. Like, wow, this must be a real train wreck. This will be fun.
Train wrecks are amazing in their own right. That's like an art form that people don't realize is an art form.
it's like, and I said to myself, so I went on ahead and I watched the first. I saw the first 4 episodes, and I said, okay. I like the animation. That's one thing I will give her credit for. I like the animation, especially when Velma has her hallucinations. That I thought was very, very good. I really don't know what she was trying to accomplish here, and it was like, wait a minute, what in the what? Wait a minute, these supposed to be 15-year-old teenagers, and they're naked.
Oh my god.
Well, I was okay with that month.
I was waiting for you to say that, Jen.
Shit.
I was fine with that. In fact, I think we could have used a lot more of it.
Oh boy, and like I said before, it's for some reason, and the Velma character was probably I think one of the worst characters I've seen probably since Jen didn't like the character from Dash Cam.
Yeah. I mean, she's not quite dash cam level, but she's not very far from it.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll go with that. I mean, there's some aspects of Velma's character I kind of liked, but and I understand that most people, when you want to make changes to a character that I don't mind the change of the character's race. I don't mind if you the gender changes. If you want to gender swap a character, I have no problem with that whatsoever. But it's got to make sense. And none of that what she did make any sense whatsoever. It sounds like it felt like to me like anytime where there was a funny moment, they had to try to do something too meta. It was like she was trying to be too hard to be like Seth MacFarlane. It's like the reason why I like Family Guy so much is because it's still funny, even though they can be meta sometimes. But it's more about the writing of the comedy that makes it that show so funny. And there was nothing funny about Velma.
the Family Guy meta is very successful because it's not being meta about being meta. And that's where Velma really screwed up, in my opinion, is like they were obsessed with that type of comedy and jokes, and it was like, okay, we get it. You're edgy, you're cool, you're a jerk. Can we move on?
Yeah,
And then everybody was a jerk, and it's like, no.
It's like, I understand if you want to make fun about some of the privileges white people have, that's good. But the way they did Fred was terrible. I mean, just like, oh, come on, guys, this is just going overboard with the references they have. And I think one of the worst episodes was the episode where she pretends to be, she gets dressed as a man, and all of the overdone jokes about what men supposed to get, especially men not washing their hands. Oh, ooh. Ooh, God. I mean, Angela, what do you think about that episode?
I think that they tried way too hard with everything about that episode, and I don't feel like it actually added to the story arc. I think it was actually after that where the story actually got more interesting and worth paying attention to, when they started letting go of a lot of that. Definitely was my least favorite episode, to the point where honestly I've almost completely blacked it out because there was nothing worth remembering about it.
Yeah, I figured that because I know Gory's and their son, he's a huge Scooby Doo fan, and yeah, I always wanted to see an adult version of Scooby Doo, but this was a total fail. I mean, you can't. I don't, like I said, and unfortunately, we're going to get a season 2, and I don't know if she's going to do the same thing, or she's going to correct any of the mistakes out of that at all. I'm pretty sure no one's not looking for it for season 2.
I think that one was greenlit before all the hate watching, just with the timing. I was like, there's no way. This was greenlit like before this was released.
Weirdly, what this reminds me of is like this is a cartoon version of Sex in the City where everyone hate watched it, but nobody liked it. It's the same thing when they did the reboot of Sex in the
City. There was a cartoon of Sex in the City?
It wasn't a cartoon, but they redid Sex. Well, they didn't exactly. It was, they brought it to now, like what they're up to now.
Oh, I genuinely watched it and I hated it, and I won't watch anything else. I was like, these are not my queens. These are not.
Everyone watched it, and I think no one was watching it because they enjoyed it. It was just like, we got to see how bad it gets, or like it's got to do something right.
I'm glad you brought that up because they're both HBO, and I wonder if it's the comedians that HBO has, because that show even really tried pushing boundaries, and HBO is always known to be on the edgier side and push boundaries, but Sex in the City and Velma did it in such different ways that it just it wasn't the same, and it wasn't successful in either series.
Yeah, it weirdly, they kind of parallel, even though they're very vastly different shows, they kind of parallel each other in a weird way.
I bet they have the same writers.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
Hey, Casey.
I'm still waiting for the Scrappy Doo spinoff.
Oh no. I mean, if you want to talk about one of the most annoying characters ever created,
Puppy power.
I don't mind Jim either.
Yeah, Jen's got.
Jennifer's got some good fighting moves.
I mean, put it out of all the characters in that show, I thought Shaggy, or Norville as he's called in this one, I think he's the only kind of likable character in the show. And I still can't figure out what she was trying to do. It tried too hard to be a Harley Quinn show, and the Harley Quinn is funny. Yeah, Harley Quinn is funny. Yeah, and It seemed like, yeah, I don't know if many even thought about the source material. I mean, I could understand not putting Scooby Doo in because Warner Brothers said that there's no way in the world you're not going to you're not going to put the Scooby Doo character itself in an adult themed TV show because we still got to market this to kids.
Yeah.
But the little reference that they do throw in there.
So annoying.
Yeah, I said.
That's when I about threw my phone. I was like, "Are you kidding me?
I said,
Are you kidding me?
what the hell? Is this the best you can do?"
Disrespect." And the Jinkies, like Jinkies is like of all the things to also screw up with that series, how did you screw up Jinkies?
Almost impressive.
My neighbor from downstairs called me because I was pacing my floors and stamping on my floors and yelling, "You give me this crap and you're taking away my Cobra Kai, you sons of..."
It's okay. You can throw out F-bombs, Jen. Jen does it also.
We're not going to beep you.
We're not going to beep you.
My virgin ears, Jen. My virgin ears. Heavens to Betsy, Jen. Heavens to Betsy.
I'll be right back, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, it you know, and I feel sorry for all the Scooby Doo fans, because this is something they really love. Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo is a very beloved character and a very excellent IP. And like I said, I would love to see a more appropriate adult version of Scooby Doo and the characters. I mean, they've done it before. I know Mystery Incorporated. A lot of people like that. I think there was a comic book version of the Scooby Doo gang. And a more adult version, I think, of Scooby could actually talk in this one. Let's go on over the chat here. Zombie Omelet is my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Let's see. We're going to mention the Scoob thing. No one
was going to bring that up.
No one likes Scoob.
A lot of people didn't.
I never
saw it.
You never saw it?
You're not missing much.
I will take that into consideration if I ever get the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Hey Ben, just without spoiling it, what was wrong with Scoob?
They dumbed it down. They really dumbed it. Like, that's one thing I hate. No matter what property you got, when the movie dumbs it down to their audience, and I hate it when they do it towards kids too, because kids aren't near as dumb as what some people think they are. In fact, sometimes they can be the sharper ones in the room, and they really dumbed it down for everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't their target audience like 3 years old?
Even for 3-year-olds, they still.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Because that's another problem I have with Velma. I don't know whose audience was she target. She certainly was not. She certainly was not targeting Scooby Doo fans. There's no point about that. And again, I don't mind if you want to change the character's race, have the character do something different than we know before, but you want to at least have some traits that most people know about, Velma, Fred, Daphne, and Shaggy.
None of them have traits.
Let them have some traits so that way, we can enjoy them. But make this totally different, where Velma is totally unlikable. The first one came, but soon as it's more of a Blue Falcon movie than a Scooby Doo movie. Yeah, because then when I saw the Blue Falcon, that's one thing that kind of threw me off. Why is Blue Falcon in here? He said, are they going to Laugh Olympics? Olympics. I thought it was supposed to be a different version of Scooby Doo. Why is he in there? And a bunch of that Captain Caveman and Blue Falcon.
Caveman.
I know.
I love it.
I didn't even like I was excited for the Captain Caveman, and I didn't even care for that part. And I was excited for the Captain Caveman.
You look so disappointed, Jen. It's all over your face, like.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
They did.
Be like Gollum in Lord of the Rings.
His loincloth wasn't short enough, man.
Exactly. You were eavesdropping when Christian and I were watching it, weren't you?
Oh man. All right, so let's talk about something I'm pretty sure everyone likes, the Addams Family.
Yeah, I dug
So
it.
so Jen, what do you thought about the Addams Family?
Are we talking about the new movie? Which incarnation? Because there was also a Saturday morning cartoon show from 1992, and John Astor actually, the original Gomez, actually came back to voice the character. It was fine. It has more charm. I think it has more charm than the ones from today, like the newer movies. Very corporate, very generic. I did not care for them. Of course, Jen has to be the hater. I swear to God, I'm not a Karen, guys, but I did not like those movies.
Well, we gotta have somebody that hates something.
Jen always hates things. I don't want to become like this 40-year-old.
You like horror. You don't hate everything. Look,
Yeah, I hate everything.
That's true.
look at all the movie posters behind you.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan. I did like the Pennywise reference with the little balloon. That was kind of smirk worthy. But
There's always a clown with these.
I like that. I wish they would have done an Art the Clown reference though, but I guess that might be considering the demographic. That might have been too much.
I don't want to go
I
there.
would love if they would have done an Art the Clown reference. I would have been like, yay!
Uh-oh.
The balloon worked though. I don't know how they would have pulled in an Art the Clown reference. So that balloon is the only reason they were able to.
If he had a saw, if they had
Uh-oh.
I might change my name actually, Moon. That's not a bad idea.
Oh man. Yeah, no. When it comes to the Addams Family movies, I thought that's one of the problems they do have with the modern Addams Family. It's too kind of corporate.
Yes.
It really doesn't have the same quirkiness that we know loves from the Addams Family, and not just from the old TV show, but actually from the movies and the cartoon show. And for me, both Addams Family movies were okay, but to me, it's like, where's the quirkiness? Where that's what was missing for me.
Yeah.
I felt like they did a really good job of modernizing it. I have only seen the first of the newer movies. But as somebody who likes HGTV but only watches it when I travel, I was like, this is a really good way to pull in a new audience, or a more corporately a bigger audience. It definitely was a little watered down, but I liked how they went about it.
I get that.
I agree. I thought it was nicely modernized, but I thought it was pretty true to all the characters. You know, Pugsley and Wednesday, and all the characters were well represented.
Better than the Wednesday show did Pugsley. They did
I know, right?
that one.
Yeah, if there's
barely in that.
I know if there's one thing I can nitpick about Wednesdays on Netflix was Pugsley's character, but I can get away with it because it was more about Wednesday than anything else. So I can deal without that.
But I liked how I love the animation style of it. I thought it was really cool, and I like when they show Morticia and the way she walks. She just like glides on the across the floor.
Amazing things of animation. You can do things like that easily.
Yeah.
I like the voice work. Charlize Theron there. That was good.
Now, with me, I think you make Gomez fat and ugly, I won't like it.
You want Raul Julia, don't you?
You just want Raul Julia.
What's wrong with you? Although John Ashton was
Yes, I think John Austin is the hot one, man.
Okay.
Oh,
I can understand that. He had more to me. He was more kind. He had those eyes were very kind to me. But Raul Julia was definitely the sex appeal for me personally.
John Ashton was way funnier.
Yeah,
he was.
Could be crazy and manic very well. There was a whirl and twirl behind his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because darn it, what's the actor's name? I can't remember his name. The one that played Gomez in Wednesday. It's like, oh man, they try to make him fat like they do in the TV, like they do in the actual
But
comic.
those are referencing the original design.
Yeah, the original design. I was like, that's why I was a little bit nervous at first, but then I remember I said, oh, they're basing on Charles Addams' comic strip design of Gomez, the character, as opposed to what John Austin did and Raul Julia did, in the movies.
The 90s movies. Maybe we should specify.
The 90s movies.
But the TV
My brain's
show
having a hard time
and,
following.
the TV show and the movies are what I fell in love with. Not that ugly animated thing they give me.
I'm kind of with Jen on this. I wasn't too big on the and if you're going to go for the animation, I would recommend seeing the ones from the 1992, I believe, and a lot of them are on YouTube. You can, I think, pretty much all
saw
of them.
that.
Yeah. So.
Now, I think one of the more fascinating horror elements when it comes to animated horror was Caroline. I saw Angela's face perk up when Caroline.
I got.
That one's my second favorite of all of them.
Yeah, because it was not just the story was nice, but it was just how they did the animation. I thought that was wonderful.
Oh yeah, animation's great.
The level of detail they paid attention to, and the contrast between the two worlds and the characters and just the little details. It's just mind-blowing.
I liked it a lot better than because I love you guys, but I hate Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'm not a fan of it either. I'm not a big Tim Burton fan. This is going to get me killed. I'm not the biggest Tim Burton fan in general.
You're not a Tim Burton fan? How?
I know everyone is shocked about that, but no, I'm not. Like, and the few movies of his I like, everyone's like, those are Ed Wood and the Don't Hate Me, but the Planet of the Apes, his version of Planet of the Apes. Don't hate me. I have a thing for Mark Wahlberg. Don't hate me.
I'm with you on Ed Wood, sure. I'm canceled, John. I'm canceled.
No. Actually, Jen, I will agree with you because if there's one thing about Tim, if there's one thing I don't like of Tim Burton's, and that's his Planet of the Apes remakes, that was terrible. Great. I love the makeup effects of the monkeys. They did a great job with that, but
Charlton Heston makes a cameo, Monty. Do you not understand the greatness of Charlton Heston? And he's playing a monkey this time. It's fucking genius. I don't care.
It's genius. It's
It
genius.
is genius.
And Mark Wahlberg was hot. All of you. Mark Wahlberg was hot.
And he's on my top 10 butt list. Come on.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Before I got a chance to even talk about that, because I was about to agree, I said, and the worst thing is that now I don't mind if you get an actor or what we call legacy character's name. You want to put a legacy character in your film or remake, I don't have a problem with that, but make him a monkey? I'm like, what?
It's a cameo, technically, not legacy. It's
I know it was a cameo, but to me it was kind of a bit upsetting, and because I saw all the original Planet of the Apes films.
I adore all of them. I
love them, and it's like seeing Charles. I mean, it's like I guess this felt kind of sacrilege to me. It's like,
I loved it. I thought it was such a cute thing. Like I guess I'm a basic bitch, but I thought that's fucking clever.
Well,
Yeah, but those new movies are really good. The Rise of the Planet of the Apes and the War of the Planet of the Apes. Those movies are good.
And we were talking about animation. I'm sorry, I got everyone.
I know we got
sidetracked.
Hey, it still works.
They should
I mean,
make that
Tim Burton,
cartoon.
and Tim Burton's done a lot of claymation.
He
You know,
has.
he's out of class. Yeah, as far as the Nightmare Before Christmas, I
Mhm.
love the story. I thought was a bit confusing, but I love the animation part, so that's why I like that particular film.
I'm
That
a basic goth bitch. That one is.
I understand.
I get that.
My husband said I can go to Disneyland by myself this year just to go see the Nightmare Before Christmas stuff because I'm going to be in California and I'm so excited.
So Angela, I bet you must like this one.
I do.
Mhm.
Corpse Bride.
One of my secret cosplays that eventually I will do, but I'm getting too old to do cosplay. Is
You're
that
not too old to do
Oh,
cosplay.
come on.
No, you're
you're
not.
never
No.
too old to do cosplay,
No, you're
but
never
I
too
don't
old.
think I will ever get around to it. I haven't cosplayed in years, starting my art business and trying to do YouTube and stuff. So, but I might start getting back into it. I don't know.
You could
Making my own
incorporate it into
cosplays.
YouTube. You could incorporate it into some of your videos if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's a whole other video we don't need to go into.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hey, Queenie.
Claymation, we can go off on that one because there's a lot of really good. I mean, Paranorman, what I was talking about is claymation. So there's seems to be like this darker theme around that genre of animation that is interesting to think about. Because even what was the one with the 7-string guitar? It's a newer one. It had some darker themes to
Is
it.
that the one that's like Day of the Dead or something? Like
No.
I wish Christian were here. He'd probably know what you were talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of it too.
It's a beautiful Kubo and the 7-string
Oh.
guitar.
Oh, okay.
It has
yeah.
some darker adult themes to it, but it is beautifully executed and such a good. I wouldn't put it in horror, but really good movie. I recommend that one.
Yeah,
I've heard good things.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I haven't seen it, but I heard good things about it.
So I guess can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so we've got like lots of different genres of cartoons. We've got traditional animation, computer animation, and these claymation movies. What is everybody's favorite of the three?
Mm.
That's a good one.
I'll take the old school cartoon style.
The
Any day.
hand-drawn.
Yeah, yes, old school, baby.
I love them all. I love them all because there's some things you can only do with whichever one you're doing, and they all are unique. And if you have the right talented people behind them, they can all be breathtakingly beautiful. So I can't really pick. It's a Sophie's choice. You just can't pick one.
I agree with you on that, but I will pick one. It will be claymation because that is
mine too.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Jim with this one because to me, it's all about the story, the characters, and how well the animation is. And so it's like, you know, I've enjoyed all types of animation, whether it's computer generated, claymation, stop motion, you know, whether it's the old 2D style animation or the 3D style animation. You know, to me, it's all good, depending upon you know who wrote it. Know how the characters are coming, how the animation is done.
Basket case.
Yeah.
Speaking of claymation.
Yeah, technically he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he more puppetry or is he claymation? Or he's probably a bit of both with the time period.
Probably both.
Yeah, I would say both.
Yeah.
A little Belial. And then he has sex in the second one.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I've seen the second one.
I'd recommend it. It's kind of a spiritual sequel to Freaks in a weird way. I always think of it as a spiritual sequel to Freaks.
Yep, basket case too. There's actually three basket case.
There's a third one too. Yeah,
I've seen it. I'm a defender of that one.
So am I.
Are we talking about Mad God right now, or
basket case?
No, basket case 3. Yes, yeah.
I read Danny's message in chat at the same time, and my brain went, what are we talking about?
Yeah, because I just saw Danny talk about Mad God. Yeah, because I remember Emma from Spooky Astronaut. She was talking about this. A lot of people say that's one tripped out, real crazy movie. It's very hard to explain, but if you see it, you're just going to be like, "What the hell am I watching?" Because it's so crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to get credit for the creatures designs of how they got, because I forgot who did it. But you got to get credit for the creatures design and how the fact they did it all. I'm pretty sure it took a long time to film it because I think it's all stop animations.
Yeah, years, I believe. I think this was a passion project that was years and years and years, and it's beautiful. And I've heard if you try to get the thing on the story, don't focus on. It's not so much about the story; it's just
Yes.
about the
The visuals.
yeah.
Yeah, the visuals, yes. Vision, yeah, because I remember Emma, she was talking about so much. I had to say, let me just check this out to see what's going on. Like, whoa.
It's a fun one.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
have to check that out.
hmm Yep. See, Mad God was a trippy movie.
Mm-hmm.
Basket case.
Yay.
Well, even though I do like the 2D style of the olden days, I do like Pixar, and I love Monsters University. Again, it doesn't take a lot for animated horror for me. Just give me fun, give me goofy, and their actual job is to scare little kids. They go to work every day with their lunchbox, and they go to work creeping up on little kids and scaring them. That's fun.
You know, I like Monsters Incorporated. I was not a fan of Monsters University.
Yeah, I agree. The original is better.
Yeah.
I have that somewhere.
Yeah, I figured it would took him a long time to finish it because trying to do all that stuff that he did in that movie.
But great, beautiful color, very colorful, funny.
Yeah, because that's what I found funny about Monsters Incorporated, because you got these monsters supposed to scare kids, and then when they finally get a human here, they all skits.
It touched me.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny about that. Yeah, that scene was funny. And then the kid gets in there, and all she's doing is wants to hug him, and they're going crazy.
Like running around.
What was her name? Boo?
Boo, yes.
Boo, yeah. Funny name.
Going from something that's like fun and light, I'm surprised we haven't talked about this, because if there was ever an animated movie that wrecked me, now granted, my parents made a really bad decision in showing. I was like 4 or 5 when they showed me this because they thought it was important for me to, and it really wasn't good for a 5-year-old to pick up on all the symbolism and metaphors of this movie. But fucking Watership Down fucking scarred me. I was bawling my eyes out, and
no, that's not a good movie to have a child sent to.
My parents thought it was very important for me to get the metaphors of it, because my parents are tree-hugging liberals, so they thought it won't traumatize. Then they wonder why I came the way I came.
It's like making a kid watch Old Yeller or Bambi. Just don't.
Oh, no.
Just don't.
I was like crying at these little rabbits, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And Marty told me about Plague Dogs, which the writer of Watership Down actually wrote Plague Dogs, and that one is a horrible one too if you're a dog lover, because we open the movie with a dog being drowned and then resuscitated, and they're lab dogs, and it's a very heartbreaking. Those movies actually kind of made me tear up, and I can't say because of Plague Dogs I just watched a few days ago, and I was kind of bawling. So I mean, even animation can even have the power to really wreck you. We think of it as just for kids, but it can really wreck you.
Oh yeah, that Watership Doom, man! I can't believe they make you watch that movie.
Yeah, they did, and I was like and I didn't get all the symbolism because I was 4.
It's like what makes you think a 4-year-old kid's going to get the symbolism of Watership Down?
They're tree hugging liberals. They thought they were too, it made me tougher, I suppose. But I was like,
back then, I think animation used to be a lot darker story-wise than it is now. And I don't know if that's more of the corporate side of things and the merchandise side of things. But it used to be a lot darker. I mean, even 5-0 American Tail.
Mm-hmm.
I had nightmares about that opening storm scene. Like, no.
I forgot about the American Tail. That one is kind of a
that one's pretty dark too. Even when it has its bright moments, there's a lot of dark undertones.
But it's good because kids got to learn about that side too, and that's handled a lot better than mutilation of rabbits.
You didn't make Jake see that movie yet, have you?
No. The way I guess you could look at it, you learn from your parents' mistakes, and there's certain things you think I'm not going to do that to my kids. That was one of those things.
I don't remember Plague Dogs.
It's the same author that did Watership Down, and they made the movie, and it's about two dogs, and they're like lab dogs, they're lab tested, and they managed to break free, and the story gets out that they're carrying the bubonic plague. They're actually not, but they say they are, and they're just hunted by man, and they have to survive, and they attack a sheep, and that gets it even more. And the ending, now the book's ending is different. I haven't read the book, but I do know the book's ending is different. The movie ends on a somewhat optimistic vibe, or at least you could take it that way. It's still a pretty brutal fucking movie, though.
I cried through the whole damn thing. Both movies.
I know.
And as for my mom making me watch a movie when I was little, she made me watch I Spit on Your Grave when I was 8.
What?
She showed me men were evil.
8 years old?
8 years old.
That's like
I was watching that by that time, but that wasn't my parents. That was just Jen.
Yeah. Oh, you had become Jen at that time.
I'd already become Jen, yeah.
Yeah, man, John heard one of the voices, one of them accidentally.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, it's brutal. And Marty had been telling me to, and I got around to it because I knew we were doing the stream, and I wanted to bring these up. And I both love Marty for it, and also hate him for showing it to me because I'm a dog lover. And I'm like, oh my God.
Marty, you bastard!
Oh no, Jen, it's just like old dogs go to heaven.
They do all go to heaven. That's it. That's the only commonality.
Oh man, darn! Because I remember Watership Down. Because I remember because I saw the book. I never read the book. I just know about some. I remember seeing some scenes. I think my brother had to watch it. I think he was doing a project, but we were older at this time, and I remember seeing the some of the stuff that happened to the rabbits, and I was like, God damn, this is worse than what's that goddamn movie? Darn, those stupid giant rabbits. I can't remember the name of the movie. It slips in my head.
We're the Wild Things or something.
No, not that one. There's another one. I'll come up to me. I'll make it for
Tentacle, penis tentacles. He did get points for that.
Here we go. This is your fault, Marty.
Marty.
We're gonna watch it together for a date.
That's right. Night of the Lepers. Thanks, Dice.
That's what I was thinking of.
I saw that.
Yeah. Because that's what Watership Down reminds me of Night of the Lepers. Lepers.
Yeah.
Although that I don't know if you ever seen that one, but that is like giant killer rabbits.
Yep.
Part of this.
Good Easter film.
Yeah. I will admit that when I was a kid, Charlotte's Web made me cry.
I get that.
I read the book and saw the animated film.
It was
sad.
Some pig.
Some pig.
It started my a lifelong love affair with Templeton, the voice I cannot. God, Paul
Templeton.
Yeah, I fucking love him.
Oh my God, yes, I love that song. I'm okay with the song being in my head now.
You're making me cry over Templeton.
I love Templeton.
Oh, you got her. I got you. Huh?
So I just thought of another question. Something we haven't touched upon is incorporating animation into film.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that, like Roger Rabbit.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But what was a horror-based one that did that?
I can't think of one, but we've kind of gone all over the place. So acceptable question.
Yeah, I can't really think of that. But when it comes to who shot Roger Rabbit,
Yeah, there's a book, guys, and you know that's a different ending, right? I ruined it for Kristen, didn't I, Sparky? Yeah, so in a way it is horror because yeah, the book's a lot different. I'll let you guys find out the difference, but if you go by the book thing, you could consider it sort of a horror.
no, actually, because I was about to remember that, but Cool World was a decent combination of animation and horror.
I
Yeah.
watched that one not knowing it was more adult themed. Little Morbid me was very confused.
I forgot
Wait a
about
minute, Mom, there are naked people in this cartoon.
My mom was like, "You're not watching the rest of that." So of course that means I had to dig out the Blockbuster video from where she hid it and watch it when she wasn't home. But
It's just like me at a younger age when I saw these trailers for Fritz the Cat.
Mhm.
Fritz the Cat. It's like, Mom, I want to go see Fritz the Cat. I said, no, you don't want to see that. No, you don't want to see that.
No.
How many families do you think took their kids to the food one when that was in theaters? I don't remember what that one was called, but that one was
Sausage party or
definitely-
something.
Oh, sausage party. Oh man.
I love
Oh,
that
God.
party.
I saw that commercial. I'm like, this has to be bad.
Oh,
Orgies.
Yes, orgy.
I kind of figured both of you would actually love Sausage Party.
Oh, I do. I think it's hilarious. Like I guess it's a 12-year-old in me that's never grown up, but I adore that one so much.
I just thought of guys one that used kind of a horror-ish one that used animation. Twilight Zone the movie. Remember when the one with the little kid that makes things happen or whatever, and then one of them was like Tasmanian Devil came out of the.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one too. I forgot about that. Sausage Party is great, Dice. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, and I have no problem with Seth Rogen, but to me, it's like is there any other thing you can make fun about is sex jokes and
I've made my career off of it.
That's 90% of comedy these days.
Mhm.
No, because I saw the Chris Rock special, and but it's like this. You don't. It's like why everything has to be made fun about sex or I don't know. I guess I just don't, I don't find that funny. I mean, yeah, you can make sex jokes every now and again, but Sausage Party almost everything had to be a sex joke.
Monty, how have you worked with me this long? We've worked together like 2 or 3 years by now. How do you just take a big drink before you get on, or before you get on and off?
You got a flask hidden in your shirt there.
Probably Sean does too. Now that I think of it,
Is this vodka in that water bottle? Is that what you're saying?
Yo, yeah, I got some hidden stuff in here.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't blame you. That's how Marty gets through it.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, wait a minute. What she says? This is
It's a good movie, Dice. Like we'll watch thing. We need to do a watch thing of that movie. It's fucking awesome.
Invite me. Invite
Trash
me.
Fire Cinema.
Yeah,
yep, do a Trash Fire Cinema of Sausage Party.
I love it.
Just be careful. They might shut your channel down though.
That's fine. I'll do it on mine, and probably Marty's cussing you and Dice and everyone else right now. God damn it.
God damn, Marty, you did it to me again.
Marty, I know what our next pick is.
Yeah, there he goes.
That's in the Belfry.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Mm.
Church full of vampires? I am there. I am there.
Oh yeah, me too.
Sold, yeah.
Me too.
Sounds like John Carpenter's vampires in a way.
It does.
Mhm.
Mm.
I'll skip it then.
Shut up, John. It's a good movie.
Uh,
Did you just insult vampires?
Mhm.
Back. I said
Oh.
back.
Ferngully definitely did have some horror elements. Dice put that in the comments. It also, watching it as an adult has a lot of flying sperm. Like every frame has flying sperm. Rewatch it. You're welcome. Don't make it a drinking game.
Tim Curry, you can't hate it though. Tim Curry does the voice, so you can't hate it too much.
No.
I don't
No.
hate it. It's still a great movie, but it definitely watching it as an adult versus a kid, you're like, wow, there's a lot of flying sperm.
Yeah, well, at least it's not as bad as that goddamn puppet movie that Melissa McCarthy was in.
Oh God,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Happy Time Murders or something like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Happy Murders, and it's
Don't
like
diss the Muppet movies. Puppets. We need more puppets in the world. The world would be a lot better place.
It was no Let My Puppets Come, but it was all right.
so you enjoyed that scene with that Muppet ejaculating.
Yeah, like I said, they did it better. I'm not kidding. There is a puppet porno called Let My Puppets Come. Marty and I did it. And I think that scene did it better. Didn't we, darling? But yeah,
I forgot about that other puppet movie that was called that. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how you could, but yeah, they did. They have a bestiality scene with a dog puppet and a human puppet. It's awesome.
Oh,
Good God.
oh
What
boy.
is this movie called?
Let My Puppets Come. It was from either late 70s or early 80s.
Uh-oh. See, now they got Jen's writing it down. Oh man.
Da, 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 da.
I don't believe for 1 second you haven't already
Yeah,
seen it.
that's right, full moon. Have you guys seen the Night of the Animated Dead movie?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I did.
What did you think?
I didn't care for it. In fact, the reason why me and Christian didn't do a review on it is because Christian finished it. I stopped it because I'm like, why aren't we just watching? It wasn't very good. It didn't do anything. It was just basically, it was kind of like the version of Psycho. Basically, they just basically in animated form, and you'd think they do some really cool things. The animation was okay, but nothing to write home about, and it just was. I didn't like it. I didn't finish it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about the same thing. They didn't do anything other than just, might as well say, shot for shot.
Yeah.
Shot for shot.
It's
Yeah.
very
For shot of the whatchamacallit. They didn't try to do anything different or try to do. The animation was good. That was the only good thing about it, but that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like that, yeah.
They
That's
did
just
add
disappointing.
the story that what's his name, Ben, the lead character, about how he got surrounded by zombies and then he ran them all over and stuff. They kind of threw that in there as part of the movie.
Yeah. No. And I love the original, like the original Night of the Living Dead is one of my all-time favorites. So maybe I'm a little too hard, but no, didn't work.
The shot for shot seems like a missed opportunity
Yeah.
to me. It's like Beauty and the Beast missed opportunity. If I wanted to watch shot for shot, I'd just watch the cartoon.
I know, right?
But in reverse.
I mean, I like the animation and it's cool to see like a straight up horror like animated movie.
I know.
Sean, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's just like with the Lion King. I mean, you want to talk about a terrible live action film.
Does it even count as live action? It's all
The whole thing is CGI anyway.
It's all CGI, and it's
You
like
might as well call it an animated movie.
still
I said,
animated.
it's like, look, I just rather watch the animated movies because unfortunately, the lions don't have facial expressions, so you can't get the facial expressions. When Mufasa gets killed, and Simba has that, whatchamacallit face. It just they don't emote, and that was just a terrible idea. But that's just Disney being Disney.
True.
It goes back to what I was saying earlier about there's things you can do with animation as a genre that you can't do with other things. You can make animals emote. You can have them still look like an animal, but have the more human facial expressions and personality. And that's something that it's just easier to do with animation.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Sean, if you want to see another horror movie that is totally animated, now it's not a remake or anything of it. It's one from 2019 called To Your Last Death. It's nothing fantastic. William Shatner does the narration, and it's a comic book style animation, and it's basically Groundhog Day meets Rat Race. You know, the comedy with John Lovitz in them, and Saw. They do a lot of saw traps, and it's very bloody and very gory. The story is nothing particularly we haven't seen under the sun, but it's actually really good. I think you guys might like it if you haven't checked it out.
What's it called again?
To Your Last Death. It came out in 2019, and Bill Moseley and William Shatner do voice work in it.
Wow. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is. I was doing research and I found this one. I'm like, this is pretty cool. I was pretty impressed with this movie. Again, nothing fantastic, but fun. If you just want a good time, this is a fun one.
I can just imagine Bill Moseley doing a voice for a cartoon. It sounds awesome.
And William Shatner, he's a narrator, and he's really leaning into that Twilight Zone. He's leaning into that Twilight Zone vibe, so very good.
Full Moon, thank you. So all I have to do is put Curtis Armstrong in my basement.
It's all about what Full Moon said. Lock somebody up.
This is not a confession.
My booger will finally be mine.
Yeah. That's interesting.
I'll take the Mandalorian over the Lion King one.
Oh yeah, so would I.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of the new stuff.
Oh, no, don't worry. No,
I'm
no
waiting for it
spoilers.
to all come out so I can binge it.
Yeah, no.
I haven't seen a single episode.
Yeah. Trust me, no spoilers from me. And my brother actually got me because I did not see the Mandalorian until my brother got me into it. Now I didn't know he was because he's not a Star Wars fan.
My life is Star Wars, horror, and Disney. Let's just say my Netflix is a lot less confused with Disney Plus and Shudder than it used to be.
Eclectic.
So did it blow your mind when Disney bought Star Wars?
Oh my god, I was like,
whoa.
finally, more Star Wars, not just books. There was no mind blowing. It was pure excitement.
It's like too much for me. I just like the old Star Wars movie.
Getting to be too much.
I don't need
when
all
you walk
this.
down the grocery store aisle and there's like tissue with Star Wars, yogurt, Star Wars, everything Star Wars. I was like, I love Star Wars. I live and breathe it right now. But this is too much for even me.
Every time you sneeze, there's a new Star Wars series going out.
I know.
But something we haven't really talked about is anime and horror before we run out of time.
All right.
Yeah. I think when it comes to anime, one of my favorite ones, just like we talked about before, is Hellsing. That's a very, very different take of the Dracula mythos, where we actually have a woman who's a Van Helsing, but it's an organization, and she actually controls a vampire, but his name is Alucard, not called Dracula.
That one's a great one.
Yeah, Quinny got me into that one.
I was looking at a list, and they put Death Note on here as a horror anime, and I was like, yes, I agree with this. I don't know if anybody's seen Death Note, but it is dark. If you like dark and morbid, and just
Christian loves it. I've not seen
the movie, not the Netflix movie.
No, not the Netflix. Did you see the Netflix movie?
Unfortunately, I can't bleach my brain. I was actually invited after that came out to talk on an anime radio show about it, and I did not have anything nice to say.
Oh.
Neither
What,
did
what was the problem with the movie?
Oh, there. Do you really want like maybe I should just find that episode and link it because there's just too much.
Oh,
Death Note is like utterly amazing with its characters and its story, and they dumbed it down so much from it being a series to putting it into a movie length that it just didn't do the justice that any of the characters or the amazing story deserved.
sounds like
And also, Seattle doesn't look like their depiction in there as somebody who lives in Seattle. And their depiction was my favorite place in Seattle. Like, if you come visit me, we're going to the pier. No questions asked. You don't have a choice. That's where I'm going to take you. And they made it not Seattle. And I'm very, very bitter about that.
it sounds like when they try to make representations of Philadelphia and they get it all wrong. I was like, that's an insult to my city.
This is my favorite place. How dare you?
Like I'll tell anyone because when they always mention Philadelphia, they always mention Pack Steaks. I says no, Pack Steaks does not make the best cheesesteaks. No, there are other places that make the best cheesesteaks. When you want a Philly cheesesteak, you don't go to Pack Steaks because you don't put Cheese Whiz on a cheesesteak.
No, that's wrong. My heart is breaking for the Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, yes, that's right. I can say it. I can say it because they put Cheese Whiz on it. I'm like, no one puts Cheese Whiz on a cheesesteak. What's wrong with you guys? No.
I don't allow that kind of stuff in my house. That's crazy. Oh.
Not in my house.
The only way it's allowed in my house is through a Goofy movie.
Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah.
No, if you ever come to Philly, trust me, I'll take you to a place that sells some great cheesesteaks, not Pat Steaks, no, and not Geno Steaks neither. This is
noted.
Remember that.
Someone had mentioned a good one in the chat. Devil Man was pretty cool, and I knew that because I was a fan of White Zombie, and they used that on the stage show. They'd have the video play of Devil Man for the song Supercharger Heaven. I was like, that's badass. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, speaking
I've
of Rob,
heard of that one.
Yeah, neither did I. Speaking of Rob Zombie, who saw his animated film?
Oh yes, the yep. What was it? El Super Beasto.
Yes.
It's my least favorite Rob Zombie film. Yeah.
Oh.
And you know me, guys, I'm a bigger defender than most people on here, Sean Monty.
Calling people out.
No, I liked one scene. Michael Myers shows up.
But the animation's like good in it. Like it's not a good movie, but the animation's kind of cool, or I thought it was. But what do I know? This is not my expertise, but I thought it was pretty looking.
Because it kind of reminded me of the animated Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah,
the three little pigs.
Yeah,
and I like that one. It was the same animation style, Stray Moon. Of course she is.
Even found a way to put her in that.
Yep.
She's a good actress, Sean. I know everyone disagrees with me, but I don't think she's as bad as everyone says she is, and I think there's a few examples of those movies where she's pretty damn good. I'm not defensive, Dice.
Sean Monty.
I'm
the same person now.
Yeah. My dyslexic brain.
I thought you were calling them both out. That's where my brain went.
Yeah, that's where my brain went too. But that sounded cool. Sean Monty.
Uh-oh.
1 second, guys. Oh wait, it's okay. I think you
What?
remembered I was on stream. That was my Marty drink.
Ugh. Whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
Oh yeah, just to get on Jen's nerves again. Angela, are you team
Don't do
Megan or are you team Chucky?
Chucky.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
I haven't seen Megan though, so
Oh.
confessions. But
Oh, well,
I
how
have
can you
Chucky.
decide then?
This was my
you
Christmas
can't
present to myself.
can't decide
Yes,
until you see.
I can.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
can. This is my,
Wow.
I can go Team Chucky. This is my commitment. I was working at a mall for Christmas one year selling my art, and some kid walks past the Chucky doll. I was like, well, I know what I'm going to go do right now. Can you watch my booth? And then I had him sit with me the rest of the day.
Aw,
That is cool though.
I love the box.
The box is freaking awesome.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's
That
like
is
the
cool.
movie box. Like,
Yeah, it's exactly a replica. That is so awesome. Like, I'd be in such a dilemma. Like, I'd want to leave it pristine and in the box, but then the other part of me would want to take it out. You've got a lot of restraint for not taking it out.
I don't know if I trust him to not walk around if I do that. So at least I know he's in prison.
But you still have to see Megan. It's available.
I do want to see it. I do want to see it. I just never got the theaters to do it.
Team Megan. Team
Shut
Megan.
Sean.
I see Megan, and because of that, I'm a Chucky girl.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you.
So are we 3 Chuckies to 2 Megans?
Yeah.
Yes, we're canceled.
Yeah.
You guys are fake Chucky fans. You guys are fake Chucky fans.
Don't forget, we're gonna
I've never been the biggest Chucky guy. I'll admit that.
Yeah, trust me, as much as I do really like Chucky, but to me, it's Megan all the way.
And that's a stupid dance. It's a stupid dance.
Oh,
That dance rules.
That put Chucky back. He's kind of creeping me out a little.
come on, Dan. You got to be. You either Team Chucky or you Team Megan.
You can still like both movies, though. I will defend that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
you
still
totally
like
can.
both
Oh
movies.
yeah, because like I said, I enjoyed the Chucky TV series. I really do enjoy.
Mhm.
Enjoyed that, But when Megan came out, and I was afraid it was not going to be as good as it was, but it was very good.
It'd be nice.
Look at Jenny. You can see she did not like Megan at all.
Not like me. But it's totally cool. Like, I don't want to come across like no hate to anyone who does. That's totally cool. I just didn't care. I think I'm the one person in the community that did not particularly care for Megan. And it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not like a dash cam or anything. It just, no.
Oh, come
I
on.
like
You're
it
not
better than
Team Buddy.
Velma.
It's not Team Buddy.
But he's not Team Buggy.
Come
Buddy
on.
wasn't even an equation. It's Chucky.
Oh, I hated Buddy. I fucking hated that one. That triggered me, guys. That triggered me. Oh, God. I got the song in my head now. God damn it.
Not my Chucky, right?
I got my Chucky.
That's that, not my Chucky. Oh man. Let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to? Oh yeah. Who's seen the Resident Evil animated films?
Oh, yeah.
I've heard they're really good. I haven't seen any, but I've heard the animation at least is really good.
Yeah,
I think I was
it's
drunk one night and watched it, and I don't remember.
I haven't seen it yet, but it looked pretty cool.
mhm.
Yeah, exactly, Dice. Yeah. Well, at least you can say, well, at least it wasn't as bad as Dashcam. I'm with you.
No, I like Dashcam. I like the horror aspect. I know no one didn't like the main character, but
It
I can
wasn't just the main character, the writing.
the main character was terrible, but I still love the horror aspect of it. I think I need to check out Unicorn Wars.
Oh, nice.
That one's been recommended a lot to me. As somebody who likes Rainbows and Death, I just keep forgetting to watch it.
Oh, I love Rainbows and Death.
Oh, speaking of Care Bears and Death, Happy Tree Friends. Does anybody remember Happy Tree Friends, the web series?
No.
Never saw it.
Okay.
Never saw it. Yeah.
only
Go
know it
watch
because of
it.
my
You're
son.
welcome.
I kind of know of it.
They're super short, but everybody dies every episode. They die in horrific ways, and there's blood and guts and skeletons and death and chaos and amazing brutalness.
No, trust me. There was a film worse than Dash Cam. It was called Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
No, if Dash Cam was
I haven't
worse.
seen that
I
yet.
respectfully disagree. Dash Cam was worse. Jeepers
I
Creepers.
disagree also. I told you us gens think alike. Watch out.
Yeah, because I actually heard of I did heard of Unicorn Wars, but I'd never heard of Happy Tree Friends.
I had seen the you guys' review, or when you guys reviewed it, and I've been curious about it. I haven't seen it yet, but I am curious. Unicorn Wars is just kind of, that's an attention grabber.
I'm looking for where it's streaming right now.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of people who would love to see the Care Bears and the My Ponies get screwed up.
I don't want to see them die.
I got a friend who's a brony. I'd love to show him that.
Well, Robot Chicken has kind of given us this with the ponies and Care Bears and Strawberry Shortcake, and also we kind of get that.
They had Michael and Jason in there and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Robot Chicken's done everything.
Yeah, I love Robot Chicken.
I'm sorry, Monty. Go ahead.
Yeah, I never got a chance to see Robot Chicken.
It's really good. There's so many seasons, but there's something. It'll hit something will hit you somewhere. They'll pick something that it'll hit you somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Real funny.
Yeah. What you about to say, Sean?
Have you guys seen the Swamp Thing cartoon?
I've heard it's good.
Yes, that's definitely horror.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I liked it.
I like the animation too. Yeah, it's a perfect horror cartoon. Too bad it didn't last too long, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that, Sean? Because I heard a lot of people really liked it. I always wondered why it got the axe.
I don't know. I just saw it on YouTube. I didn't see it when it was on TV.
The early 90s.
But I'm guessing 90s. It's got that 90s style.
Very cool.
Yeah, I didn't. As I remember, they made a Swamp Thing cartoon. I just never saw it. Look, it came out in 91.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was only on for 1 year. It only aired only did 5 episodes.
That's short.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they passed that early.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's short because normally cartoons they have at least 10 to 13 episodes for a season.
Mm-hmm. For the first season, and sometimes the second season will be more. But it's
More, yeah.
10 to 12 standard for animated series to get a feel for it and see if it's worth investing in.
But wow, I didn't even give it a
22
chance.
episode seasons.
Death Dream was one of my first crushes.
Was it from It? When did you see him in It? Because he was one of the kids in It. And the one from he was one of the
Tim
kids.
Curry one.
Yeah, the one with Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was one of the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I feel stupid. I never picked up on that.
No, I'm just a nerd. Don't pay attention. I have no life, obviously. The Sleepaway Camp and Robot Chicken, I love those references. Oh my God, somebody remembered this movie and made a parody about it. I love that.
Yeah.
Somebody should make that a cartoon. Sleepaway Camp. That'd be
I'd
awesome.
I'd watch
I think there's
it,
a lot of people. There's been a huge revival of fandom for Sleepaway Camp. It's been crazy to see over the years. Past few
Yeah.
years.
Even
That's
though
true.
Return to Sleepaway Camp
Mhm.
Mm. They ruined it. I thought, how they're getting the original writers back, some of the original actors. They can't fuck it up. They managed to fuck it up.
Yeah, they would.
I still got love for 3. I know it gets a lot of crap.
Three's not
That
so bad.
movie's
It's
fun. I don't care.
No, it's fun. It's not my favorite in the series, but it's fun.
Yeah. When it comes to sleepaway camp, you got the first 3, but I think 3 started the downhill, and then the 4th one that ruined it.
Did they really make that many of Sleepaway Camp? I've only seen the first one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first 2 starred Steven Spielberg's sister, Pamela.
Bruce Springsteen's sister, half sister.
Yeah,
Bruce
half
Springsteen's
sister. Yeah.
half-sister. Yeah.
Yeah, she played Angela in the I think the first 2. I don't know. Does she play in the 4th one?
She plays it in the second and third one, and Felicia Rose plays the first one, and she comes back for Return to Sleepaway Camp, which I do not recommend to anyone. Those goddamn frogs. They were his friends.
Did they hurt the frogs?
No, they make a character,
Okay.
like there's this character, and they don't know what nuance is, and they're trying to make him both the bully and a sympathetic character, and they skin these frogs alive, which normally I would be on whoever did that to, but this character is so egregiously horrible, you're almost on the people's side that skin the frogs, and normally I never say that, but that's how bad this character is. So yeah.
That's very confusing.
I know.
For any movie to hear that about any horror movie, I mean,
I could
and it's
totally
so fast, I
see.
like frogs.
Yeah.
Oh, I do too. They were. I used to. I love frogs. I still do. Yeah, the kid is annoying to say the least. Oh, probably the most annoying horror character, or at least in the top 3.
Everybody says that. Yeah.
The kid's not a bad actor. I've actually seen him in some stuff. I think he just didn't have much to work with.
If you have bad writing, not even a good actor can save that.
Nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
They,
true.
like, he's Bob's level, from.
I was gonna say, is he Bob level?
Yeah, even
Bob
maybe
level
worse than
annoying?
Bob.
Even that girl from Psycho Gorman. Ugh.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong.
We need Tochi the cartoon.
We do.
Oh, what about if they did an Art the Clown cartoon?
Oh man.
Yes.
Oh, Jen's for it.
Yay! Magical Adventures with Art the Clown.
That could
Be
be
cool.
an adventure, like
Yes,
a really good adventure. And I'm
Oh,
not into like the heavy gore horror. I still watch it sometimes, but it's not my thing. But I think that would be really interesting, and the things that they could do with the character and how brutal he is in an animated style would be a good
Yeah.
use of it.
That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, that
what
would
kind
be
of
wild.
animation style would you do if it was you? What would you pick?
Traditional.
Traditional?
Hmm.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see claymation too, maybe working, but probably traditional would be the best.
I think
Yeah.
traditional would be better for the blood
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
going like extreme with the blood and the gore. I think it'd be easier to animate it 2D versus trying to claymate it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Liquid's really hard in claymation.
Yeah, imagine.
Yes,
I'm
speak
down
about
for that, man.
it. He'll shrink down, go inside of you, and destroy you each cell at a time.
Yay!
You could have the little girl with him. Could be his sidekick.
The clown
Killing
girl.
spree. Whatever.
No, he'd probably take the timer guy.
I'd also be down for Art the Clown as the lizard form, like Miss Frizzle had. I
Oh,
would be
yeah.
down for that. Oh, now I kind of want to draw that.
You should. You totally should. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art the Clown versus Beetlejuice.
Do an animated version of
Oh,
Art the Clown.
how have we not talked about animated Beetlejuice?
Oh yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
I love that show. That was pretty good.
It's a
Yeah.
cute show.
Talk about another one that was not for kids but directed for kids.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I'm like, wait a minute, how can they make an animated show
like-
for Beetlejuice and it tried to make it light dark
Mhm.
so it wouldn't scare kids. But I'm pretty sure some of the aspects of the show was scary. But it was funny. I did love that one. I even liked it better than the actual movie.
Mhm.
Oh,
I've heard
really?
people say that.
Mhm.
I love the toys Burger King gave out. I love the toys that you got in the Gizmos of Burger King. I love those. Wish I still had them.
I liked how they kept Lydia in her goth stage.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a
It was
vibe.
my first exposure to goth, and then I was goth.
Mhm.
At least until not until I could buy my own clothes, but
The movie or the show?
the cartoon.
Yeah.
Cartoon.
I saw the cartoon before the movie.
Rod the Clown meets the nerds.
Well, the nerds would kick his ass, Echo.
This nerd would want to be his friend.
Now you would have to dress up as that girl clown in our two.
I don't mind that. I like that aesthetic. That's kind of
Yeah.
yeah. I wouldn't mind that.
You volunteered as
She
tribute.
teaches human anatomy.
Trying to see. Oh, wait a minute. Is that?
Hmm?
Oh no, I was looking at. There was one. It was this. There's this claymation series. I think Marty might have introduced to me. It's called Chuck Steele, and there's one called Chuck Steele and the Night of the Vampires. I haven't seen that one yet, but if it's anything, then the last Chuck Steele that he saw me to is probably because that guy's talk about over the top violence. I am. Hey, Ice Lord.
Oh, that looks fun. I'm looking at pictures right now.
Mm-hmm.
That looks fun. Oh my god,
didn't
the claymation is so good in this preview. Sorry.
Yeah, because I remember Marty had introduced me to Chuck Steele because
Anyway.
I'd never heard it before, and I saw that first one. I was like, "Wow, talk about some over the top violence."
He likes that.
Yeah, I meant to ask him. How long does it take him to film those little stop
The
motion?
little stop motions. Sometimes it depends on what he's doing, and sometimes he's so happy he can get very angry when it's not working. And I know blue tact is your best friend in that. But when he gets a shot and it's really worth it, and he's incredible at it. He is incredible at it.
He is.
And this
Yeah,
isn't
he's
his
really good at
girlfriend
that.
He's real good at it. Yes.
Mhm.
But
He can make a horror like cartoon just using the figures and stuff.
yeah,
I'd watch it. Just saying.
Yeah.
he's amazing, and that's not his girlfriend. That's like even. I just think he's amazing. I wish he'd do even more stuff, but he just does it for fun because he says you lose your passion if not. So, which I get.
Oh,
I like when he had like the little Blockbuster video or whatever, like then at the video store.
Yeah, he made that. He made that whole diorama himself. He even prints out teeny tiny little covers and stuff.
Little boxes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So much work.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because I know it does. I know it takes a while to get that film straight and make sure that it doesn't fall over before you take the shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's really good at it. He's a genius.
He sure has a thing for Harley Quinn, though. What's up with that?
Yes. Oh God! Don't get me
Like-
started on that horse. She's like not that great. Like I'm better. I'm going to
Yes,
when I go over
Yes,
there.
you are, Ken. Yes, you are.
Uh-oh.
You may have competition there, I think.
You may have
That's what I was gonna
You may
say,
have to
that's a
cosplay as Harley. You may have to cosplay as Harley.
I'd pay to see that match.
You better not be taking my man. I'll cut him. I know he loves his figures, but I'll rip him to pieces, and he would leave me then.
Oh, that's right. He is doing animation now.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've
I know.
seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of when the Dr. Wolfield does that. You know how he does the anime version of himself or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The VTuber thing.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think that qualifies more under the VTuber category.
Yeah.
Oh yes, can't get enough of Dead West and Mandy.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah, we talked about that
Yeah,
earlier.
we talked about that earlier. Yeah.
That was probably everyone's first exposure to claymation here, right?
No, because since I'm a '70s kid, so my
Well,
actual first exposure to animation was Jason and the Argonauts.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my first. No, actually, no. It was even before that was one of the Sinbad films. I,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I
I
love
don't know.
those.
It
Yeah,
was either
Jake does too. Mhm.
it was either the Seven Voices of Sinbad or Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
the golden voyage of Sinbad.
Yeah, 'cause that's what got me in because I remember I went to drive-ins and saw my first Sinbad movie. It was Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
Nice.
Very cool.
I was gonna say the same thing. Hard King, the original King Kong. Not that I've been around that long, but
Mm,
but that was the first time I'd seen it. Seeing
yeah.
the reruns of it, King Kong
Hmm.
and Mighty Joe Young and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, a lot of people forget about Mighty Joe Young.
That was a great movie, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
Wasn't that one in the 90s or was that a remake?
Well,
Yeah.
that was a remake
That was
of.
a
that was a
Okay.
remake. There was I think the original one came out in the '50s,
Think
and
so.
I think they did a remake of it. Yeah, let me see.
I remember the
Yeah,
ads
with
for the
Charlize
remake, but I
Theron,
didn't
right?
know enough about movies about remakes at the time.
Yeah, no, the original one came out in '49 because I know
Mhm.
it wasn't that long before after. I think probably right after Son of Kong
Son
came
of
out.
Kong. Yeah.
Then came out Mighty Joe Young,
Mhm.
and that came out in '49. Then it was remade in 1998.
Yeah.
No, but another one of my favorite stop motions. I don't know if you ever saw this called the Valley of Guanji.
I don't think I've
I
seen
don't know that one.
Never heard of
Marty
it.
Marty might have known that one. And Marty, you I'm pretty sure you heard of the Valley of Guanji, right?
Yeah, I've heard. I think Marty has talked about it, but I've never seen it. But I think now that you mention it, I think Marty has mentioned it to me.
Yeah, yeah. When it comes to Ray Harryhausen films, that's another one. It really doesn't get that talked much as far as his other films that he's made. No one really talks about the Valley of Guanji because it's a clash of Western and sci-fi.
I'm
Interesting.
seeing dinosaurs, Googling it. Lots of dinosaurs.
Let's see.
And then it was the movie Better Off Dead that got me into claymation.
Mhm.
Uh,
Get that one.
When the hamburger came to life, I started dancing and singing Van Halen.
It's a good one to get an introduction to.
Yeah.
Using a medium correctly.
Okay, looks like we've really talked a lot about animation films,
Mm.
and I think we had a great discussion about that. So, what we do towards the end of when I host it, we don't kind of when I host it, what we'd like to do is, I got this from a friend of mine. So I like to give all you guys a chance to get a free chance to talk about what's coming up on your channel. So, Angela, what's coming up on your channel?
I have no idea. I'm not active on YouTube right now, but sometimes you can catch me on Twitch creating art live. And I'm really into pole dancing right now and going to start an OnlyFans pole dancing.
Yeah.
That's the shit I got going on in my life.
All right, Sean, what's going on the horror corner?
Well, I just did my reviews of Scream, the Scream 6, the non-spoiler and spoiler-filled. Check those out. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I want to do reviews on because I want to get a lot of reviews under my belt. I've been doing a lot of other kind of stuff lately, so I want to focus more on that, doing straight up horror movie reviews.
Okay.
Cool.
Jennifer Tochi, what's coming up on your channel?
I'm going to be doing more horror reviews mixed in with comedy reviews.
Very cool.
I have some unboxings, and then tomorrow I'm going to be on the Midnight Hour again.
There you go.
Always a good time.
Oh, it's a good time.
Mhm.
Jen, what's going on Jen's reviews from the grave?
Well, fear not, good people. I know a certain corny movie just dropped yesterday, and you guys are probably wondering, you and Christian have the market on those corny movies. Where's the review? We put out a poll, and you guys said you wanted Christian back. But the good news is Christian and I have been racking our brains on how we're going to do this review. I got a thing of inspiration. So when Christian gets back, we're going to be reviewing the latest Children of the Corn. And oh my God, do I have a brilliant idea on how we're going to do this. You thought corn jello was a thing. Oh boy, do I have a fucking inspiration for that. But while Christian's still up in Texas, we're still going to be doing reviews how we're doing it with him there, me here, and we're going to be reviewing a Tales from the Crypt episode, and there's a couple of other movies on our belt that we want to check out. So it's going to be a busy time on Jen's Reviews from the Grave, and hopefully Sparky will be back soon because I know you guys all miss him.
And by the way, have you heard that he likes Scream 6?
Oh, yes.
Yes!
Yes,
Wow.
Christian loves Screen 6.
That blew me away.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
But I had an idea that he was going to like it because I even said it on my review. I said I believe even Christian's going to like the movie.
And you were right. He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
I had more issues with it than he did. He did.
Yeah.
So, also, Sean, your video on the 100 greatest metal songs was an amazing video. I've been meaning to leave you a comment.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I
I
need to
really
check
enjoyed
that
it.
out. That sounds like a good video.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah. Angela, did you see Scream 6 yet?
I did. I was like, husband, we're seeing it. We're going on a date. You have no say in this. This is our date night. I've also told him when Evil Dead and Renfield come out, we're having a marathon at the theater, and he has no say.
Oh yeah, I want to see
I
that
think they come out at the
Renfield.
same night, don't they? They come out on the
They're
same
a week apart.
night.
Yeah, a
Okay.
week apart. Yeah, a week
I
apart.
already looked at this, and I'm like, reserved calendar date, like.
As far as what's coming on my channel is concerned, yes, I'm going to be watching the latest Children of the Corn film, so that's going to be up. Continuing my series of horror films from the 70s, I've just completed writing up my review of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 78 version.
Yes.
So that's coming up
Love
right
that.
there.
Oh god, I love that movie.
Yeah, and then I will also have my latest unboxing video coming up. So that's
Very
what's coming up on my channel.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay. Well, first of all, we had to thank our lovely guests, Jennifer Tochi and Angela.
Yay.
I will
Awesome
have,
guest.
yes, awesome guests. Thanks for
Great job.
coming onto the
Thanks
stream.
for
I will have the
having
links
me.
to their channels in the description box below. So you can subscribe to those channels and check them out. And of course, want to thank everybody in the chat from joining us today. Want to thank everyone else for coming. And always remember that horror rules. Yeah. All right, then, everyone, you have a good night and please stay safe out there, okay?
A great night,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Sean just booked.